Hey everybody, welcome back to Brainiac Baseball's 1984 Detroit Tigers season replay. Today's matchup is between the Kansas City Royals and the Detroit Tigers at Tiger Stadium. On the mound for the Royals today is Garry, whose record is 6-9 with a 5.41 ERA. And pitching for the Tigers today is Dan Petry, whose record is 9-8 with a 4.27 ERA. Okay, we had a big win yesterday. George Brett had a double and a home run, drove in 3 runs. Unfortunately, our starting pitchers have just become unreliable. Morris could not get into the 5th inning yesterday. He was all set up to get another win. All he had to do was get through the 5 innings, and he couldn't do it. So we pulled him from the ball game and brought in Dave Rozema, who got the win in relief. I just don't know if this is a temporary trend by the game, forcing us to pitch our bullpen arms off. If that's the case, we have plenty of bullpen arms that we can send to the minors and call up some fresh meat if we have to. And also keep in mind, we've only got another, 10, 12 days, less than 2 weeks before we get to the September call-ups, and when we'll have enough arms for the rest of the year for sure. So. I also want to take a moment to say congratulations yesterday to the winner of the prize, the 2023 Topps Tribute Bert Blyleven autograph card. The person has not contacted me yet, so I don't want to say his name, but Charismatic Dad finished in 2nd place, and he contacted me yesterday, and we'll get that card out to him as soon as we can here. So we're still waiting to hear back from the winner. So I hope everybody enjoyed the duck race. It's a lot of fun. I think I preferred that over the Wheel of Fun. And I think we'll probably go back to the duck race for the final giveaway for the Tigers season. Let's go ahead and get today's game started. As always, I appreciate everyone following along. Like and or subscribe to the channel. You got to be a subscriber to get in on the contest. Pardon me. So we've got Dan Petry on the mound. He has not been very good lately. The current Royals lineup is batting .267 against him. We do have all the bullpen available today, except for Dave Rozema, who had to pitch a couple of innings in relief. Garry, former Tiger. He's a right-hander. And he is starting today. We will bench nobody. We got all the good guys in there today. That's right. So everyone is rested and healthy. And so, yeah, we have all of the regulars in there versus Garry. Okay, let's go ahead and do the lineup rundown for the Kansas City Royals. Batting leadoff, playing second base is Andy Stankiewicz. Batting second and DHing is Phil Lombardi. Batting third and catching is Don SLAUGHT. Batting cleanup, playing first base is Fred McGriff. Batting fifth in right field is Darryl Motley. Batting sixth in left field is Butch Davis. Batting seventh at third base is Rance MULLINIKS. Batting eighth in center field is Chet. And batting ninth is the shortstop, Garry Templeton. Let's take a look here at Peaches. Making his 26th start of the year, 9-8, with a 4.27 ERA, 88 strikeouts and 154 in the 3rd innings pitched. Opponents are batting .250 against him. He does have a complete game this year. Fastball tops out at 89 miles an hour. Ground ball percentage is 45.7%. You'll see he's got a couple good pitches in the arsenal. A fastball rated a 91, a slider that's an 83. Overall, he is rated an 89. 25-year-old righty is a free agent at the end of the 86 season. Let's look at his log. Yeah, he has won, 2 of the last 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. He's won 2 of his last 9 starts and only has had really 1 decent start. That was against the last place Indians, where he pitched 6 shutout innings. Okay, let's take a look here at the Tigers' defense. We got all the good guys in there, so every position is above league average. Kenny Smith back at first base today. And Andy STANKIEWICZ leading off versus Dan Petry. This is the first game of the final quarter of the season. So we are finally on the official home stretch as STANKIEWICZ strikes out for one down. Here is Phil Lombardi. He's like the third catcher on the roster, but the main DH now. And he gets a base hit back through the box into center field. So Lombardi is on. And the main catcher, Don SLAUGHT, batting .297 with 18 home runs. Best hitter on the team, at least for the 84 season. He hits a ground ball to Whitaker at second. And for some reason, we can't double up two catchers running. We do get the runner at first for out number 2. And that will leave it up to Fred McGriff to get the run in. McGriff was in left field yesterday, back at his natural first base. And Petry gives up a base hit to center, and it's 1-0 Kansas City. So will this be the revenge game after the 11-4 victory yesterday? That's the question we have to have answered here, as Darryl Motley flies out to center field for out number 3. So the Royals jump on top, 1-0. Let's take a look at the Tigers lineup rundown. Batting leadoff, playing center field is Willie Wilson. Batting second. At second base is Sweet Blue Whitaker. Batting third at shortstop is Alan Trammell. Batting cleanup, playing third base is George Brett. Batting fifth and catching is Terry Kennedy. Batting sixth at first base is Ken Smith. Batting seventh in left field is Kirk GIBSON. Batting eighth and DHing is Jim DWYER. And batting ninth is the right fielder Glenn Wilson. Okay, former Tiger Jerry Ujdur. We traded him to the Royals back in '83. That was the deal in which we got George Brett. We traded Howard Bailey, who started yesterday, Howard Johnson, and George Wright. And I think we got the better of that deal. Although Kansas City does get an every rotation starter. He's got 21 starts, 6-9 record, 5.41 ERA. Wow, more walks than strikeouts. That's always brutal. He did do that for us, though, as well. Opponents are batting .285 against him. He's got a couple of complete games. Fastball tops out at 89 miles an hour. Ground ball percentage is 47%. His one good pitch is the hard curve, rated an 85. Overall rated an 80. The 27-year-old righty is arbitration eligible at the end of the year. Looking at his log, he had back-to-back starts versus the Blue Jays. Coming off a complete game, he went 9 innings, giving up 1 run and 5 hits. A couple of walks. That might be the best performance of the year for Jerry Ujdur. Let's take a look at that Kansas City defense. Wow. Again, they're pretty rough everywhere you look. Even without McGriff in left field back at his normal position, left field is still below league average, as Butch Davis is a 78. The right fielder Motley is a 73. All the infield is below league average except for Gary Templeton, who is a Gold Glove winner. And behind the plate is Don SLAUGHT. What's his arm like? Oh, he's below league average as well. What is Phil Lombardi's arm? Oh, he's terrible. Okay. So they're doing the best they can with what they got, looks like. All right, Willie Wilson will lead it off versus Jerry Ujdur. Wilson has his average back up to .307. Fly ball into right field, and it's dropped by the right fielder Motley as Wilson pulls into second base. A 2-base error to start off the ball game. And we've got the tying run in scoring position. That is a rough way to start. Here's Sweet Lou facing his old teammate for the first time, and he walks him. Oh my goodness. Now this feels like a double steal if I've ever tried one. This will tell you a lot about how the game is going to go for us. We are going to try the double steal. There's nobody out. First pitch to Trammell right up the middle, and everybody is safe. Willie Wilson, his 55th stolen base of the year. 21st as a Tiger. And Sweet Lou, that's only his third. 3 for 8. So Whitaker's appreciative of the free swipe. So that was right up the middle, so it's a 0-1 count to Trammell. Trammell has double digits in home runs. There's a ground ball, base hit. Gets past Templeton. 2-run score, and that is a 2-run RBI. A 2 RBI single for Trammell. And the Tigers are on top. This is what I like about our team right now, is it feels like we're becoming a little bit more clutch than we were during that period last month when we were a 500 team. There's the first out as George Brett strikes out. That's going to bring up Terry Kennedy. Kennedy's got a 1-2 count, and he strikes out. So now Jerry Ujdur could do no wrong. He gave up his 2 runs. 2 down, runner on first. Ken Smith is up. I think we're going to try to steal here with Trammell. If we get into scoring position, then maybe Ken Smith has got a shot. If not, Kenny Smith will start off the next inning. Here's Trammell. Curveball outside, and he's thrown out on a 71-mile-an-hour screwball. So I guess we got our 2 runs. The game wasn't going to give us anything else, right? 2 strikeouts and a caught stealing. He's 6 for 12. All right, we tried. We go to the top of the second. Tigers are ahead 2-1. Butch Davis leading off. I don't know if you saw, but Dan Petry in real life just yesterday got some good news. His son, Jeff Petry, who is a defenseman for the Montreal Canadiens, was traded to the Detroit Red Wings. So that's got to make Petry happy, having his son Jeff in the hometown. Butch Davis, ground ball to short. There's 1 out. It's going to bring up Rance MULLINIKS, having a really off year, batting .245, 6 home runs. There's not a lot of batters on this team that can support Rance MULLINIKS. I don't know about having him in the number 7 spot. 2 down, here is Chet Lemon. Lemon in the hole at short. Trammell throwing him out. A 1-2-3 inning for Petry. That's a nice bounce back inning. We go to the bottom of the second. Kenny Smith leading off. And Smith strikes out. Wow. So Ujdur struck out 3 of his last 4 batters. Oh, no, that's incorrect. Because he struck out 3 in a row, actually, because of the caught stealing. 1 out. Here's Gibby. He's giving a walk back. The old strikeout walk combo. Okay, we'll let Jim Dwyer take a cut here. He had a day off yesterday and a ground ball to first. Gibson will advance. Here's Glenn Wilson. He might be the hottest hitter on the team right now. Chance to drive in a run. And he flips it to right field. Gibson will score. It is 3-1. Detroit. Wilson. Let's look at his log. 66 RBI now. Whoa, yeah, he's on a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's got a 6-game hitting streak in which he's got 6 RBI. So that's pretty good. We'll take it. So Glenn Wilson on first with 2 down. And we're back to the top of the lineup with Willie Wilson. And Wilson will walk. I don't think this is a good time to do a double steal with Wilson and Wilson. One of those Wilsons is pretty slow. 2 down. And Whitaker blasted to right field. Shy of the warning track. We go to the top of the third. 3-1 Detroit. Garry Templeton, the number 9 hitter, will lead it off. And Templeton Rolls it on down to Ken Smith for out number 1. Back to the top of the lineup with Stankiewicz. And there's a base hit for the rookie. Goes to right field. And singles, so Stankiewicz is on first. 1 out. Here's the DH, Phil Lombardi. He had to hit the first time up. Ground ball to Smith, and the double play. Good job, 3-6-3. Kenny Smith showing a little glove. We go to the bottom of the third, and we've got Trammell leading off, followed by Brett and Kennedy. Trammell 1 for 1, and there's the third walk. So we got those walks back off of Ujdur. Now Trammell was already thrown out once trying to steal today. We will let George Brett swing away. Brett struck out the first time up. Flips it to left. Out number 1. Terry Kennedy struck out first time up. And he goes to left field for a base hit. I was considering having Trammell try to steal there, but now I'm glad I laid off on that. Kennedy's average still at 330, and he does qualify for the batting title. At the end of the month, we'll take a look at the standings and league leaders and check that out. Oh, Smith strikes out for the second time. That's going to leave it up to Gibson to drive in some more runs. Gibby batting .276, 18 home runs, and 5 strikeouts by Ujdur today in 3 innings. That's a season high against us. That makes no sense, but we do have the lead 3-1. The heart of the lineup coming up here for the Royals, starting with Don SLAUGHT. Line drive to center, and Wilson will make the catch. 9-pitch at bat for Don SLAUGHT. Good job by him. Fred McGriff up. McGriff drove in the only run for the Royals, and he strikes out. Second victim of Dan Petry today. 2 quick outs, and MOTLEY strikes out as well. So we go to the bottom of the 4th. Game's moving along now as Jim DWYER will lead off. DWYER, a looper into left field. Play made by the left fielder Davis. 1 out. Ground ball from Glenn Wilson to third. MULLINIKS making the play. And back to Willie Wilson. Hot shot to MULLINIKS. Yeah, the game is humming along. Top of the 5th. Tigers are up 3-1. Here's Butch Davis. Davis with the ground ball to Brett. Now we've learned recently that this is the inning where the game sort of flips the switch on the starting pitcher. What game was it? It was a couple of games ago when we got into the 5th inning, got 2 outs, and then the pitcher couldn't get out of it. I don't think that was Morris yesterday. It might have been Danny Jackson, right? Good job by Dan Petry. That's 4 Ks for Petry. He has yet to walk anybody. And a ground ball to short. Trammell makes the play, and Petry's through 5. Nice bounce back inning for the Tigers. We're looking pretty good here as Lou Whitaker steps in, and he strikes out. Jerry Ujdur must have the inside scoop. That's all I can think that's happening right now. There's no reason for us to strike out 6 times against a substandard pitcher who wasn't even in baseball in 1984. Alan Trammell flies out to left field. There's out number 2. And George Brett. Ground ball to short. So yeah, I mean, both of these pitchers have given up what they were going to give up. And now the game just has them on lockdown. Petry's only thrown 63 pitches. So sooner or later, I think Petry's going to have to probably give up some walks here. Here we go. Oh, no, right up the middle. 5 Ks for Petry. Who would have thought it'd be a pitching duel between Petry and Ujdur? That's a 3-1 count. Lombardi was swinging. And another 1-2-3 inning. Okay, we're going to the bottom of the 6th. Terry Kennedy will lead off. Kennedy 1 for 2 today with a strikeout. Oh, TK got it! Terry Kennedy, batting champ. I'm calling my shot right now. As long as he doesn't get injured, he will qualify. That is 15 home runs, 29 doubles, batting .332 with an OPS almost at 900. Fantastic. He has picked up where Ken Smith is left off. There's a base hit for Smith. Good job by him getting off the schneid. 4-1 here in the 6th. Gibby with a 2-2 count. Pulls it to first. Is that going to be a double play? Yeah. 3-6-1 double play as Ujdur covers. You don't see Gibson grounding the double plays very often. And Jim DWYER dumps it down the left field line all the way to the wall. Jimmy D, that's his first double of the season. First extra base hit. He's been acceptable so far. On second base for Glenn Wilson. And Wilson will ground out to short. Tigers do get a run on the home run by TK. It's 4-1. Don Slaught will lead it off versus Petry. Petry's at 84 pitches. Base hit to left field for Don Slaught. It's hard to keep that guy down. That is the one thing he did really well in real life. That is get a lot of hits. First baseman Fred McGriff hits a comebacker to Petry, who turns and fires to second. I have a great piece of information. We got to thank Julio L. for this information. You may remember in yesterday's ball game that Pete Lecoq was the first baseman, and Julio L. dropped some knowledge in the comments section of yesterday's game. Pete Lecoq's father is Peter Marshall, who was the host of the Hollywood Squares. Peter Marshall, his real name is Ralph Lecoq. Actually, was a singer, a movie star, comedian. He did Hollywood Squares. Pete Lecoq's aunt was a famous actress who was in like many of the westerns of the 50s, like Red River. And of course, Pete Lecoq had a pretty long major league career, playing 9 years in the majors for the Cubbies and the Royals. So that's a pretty talented family, and great knowledge from Julio L. If you look up Peter Marshall on Wikipedia, you can get the full scoop there. So one down, McGriff on first. No Lecoq today, folks. Mobley with a ground ball to second, and there's a double play that will end the inning. We go to the bottom of the 7th. They're going to pull Ujdur from the ball game and bring in Raleigh Eastwick. Raleigh Eastwick out of baseball after the 82 season, but he's hanging in there for the Royals. He is making his 55th appearance of the season. He's 5-5 with a .353 ERA. It's pretty good for a guy that wasn't even pitching. Doesn't walk many, doesn't strike out many. Opponents are batting .260 against him. He's got no saves this year, but he's got 2 blueies. Not much of a fastball. In fact, his best pitch is a sinking fastball, and that's rated a 79. Overall, rated a 75. The 33-year-old right-hander, as I mentioned, is a free agent at the end of the year. With those numbers, you'd think he'd still be able to find a team. Eastwick will face Willie Wilson to lead it off. Wilson a full count. And he pulls it into right field for a base hit. Let's go ahead and take a look at the in-game stats. Wilson now 1 for 3 with that stolen base. You may remember he was safe on an error to start the ball game. Now, we have not hit and run today. Let's go ahead and try a hit and run now with Sweet Lou and Willie Wilson on first. A ground ball to second. Wilson will advance. Whitaker 0 for 3 today. One down. Here's Tram. Tram's got a full count, and he walks. Nice at bat from Trammell. 7-pitch at bat. No, that's an 8-pitch at bat right there. First and second, one down. George Brett, been quiet all day. He's 0 for 3 with a strikeout. Had that big game yesterday. 2-0 count and a ground ball up the middle. That is a tailor-made double play with Brett running. We go to the top of the 8th inning. I am keeping Dan Petry in the ballgame. Everybody after the first 4 batters has not got a hit today. He dumps that curveball into the strike zone off Butch Davis. 6 Ks for Petry, having his best game of the year so far. Rance MULLINIKS, base hit past the glove of Brett at third. MULLINIKS on first for Chet Lemon. Lemon is 1 for 13 in his career versus Dan Petry. Well, doesn't get any better here. He pops it up down the third base line. Brett makes the catch there. Out number 2. It's going to leave it up to Garry Templeton as Petry's now at the century mark in pitches. Templeton to left field. Gibby making the catch. All right, that'll do it for Raleigh Eastwick. They're going to bring in the left-hander, Al Howland. I believe he is their closer. Yeah, 22 for 24 on the year. 0-2 with a 3.82 ERA. He doesn't strike out many either. Opponents are betting 203 against him, 87-mile-an-hour fastball. The 4-seamer is his best pitch, rated at 82. Overall, 75. The 32-year-old left-hander is a free agent at the end of the 85 season. So it's lefty on lefty. That does not scare Terry Kennedy. He just hit a home run off a left-hander 2 days ago, I guess it was. He pounds that one into the dirt in front of home plate, and Don SLAUGHT will make the catch, make the plate. One down. Now, Kenny Smith does not hit lefties well. And you know what? We just take him out of the ballgame. We'll bring in Barry Larkin, better defensively anyway. And he's batting .364 versus left-handers. 2-0 count, routine ground ball to first. 2 down, and Gibby batting .270 versus lefties. Oh, Gibby goes up, Otako! Lefty on lefty violence. Gibson with the home run. That is his 19th of the year. Looking at his log, he's got 7 home runs, make it 8 in the last 21 games, because that home run would fall off if we were counting today, right? So Gibson has found his power stroke. Look at his OPS, over 1,000, batting .350. He is coming through at just the right time. 2 down, here's Jim Dwyer, and Dwyer will strike out looking. That insurance run will give me some confidence here to let Petry try to wrap up this game, go for his 2nd complete game of the year. Andy Stankiewicz strikes out looking. 7 Ks for Petry. Got Barry Larkin at first now defensively. Look at this defense. Look at these numbers. The only one that would be suspect is Kennedy behind the plate. And you know he's got a plus WAR defensively as Lombardi gets a base hit, his 2nd of the ball game. 6 hits now for the Royals. we've come this far. Got to give it a go here. And a base at the left. And Petry is officially tired with a left-hander up. So that'll do it for Petry. We don't want to diminish what he's done today. He's pitched really, really well. In comes the creeper, Paul Gibson. Paul Gibson gets lefties out, the best on the team. Splits. They're batting 192 against him. So Gibson in to face Freddie McGriff. 2-1 count to McGriff. Ground ball to second. That could be the ball game. Tigers win 5-1. Game ends on a double play. Handshakes, butt slaps, sloppy steaks. We are in the midst of a monsoon here. If you hear the thunder in the background. That's not my rumbling stomach. Tigers win 5-1. We cannot lose right now as we look at the standings. Oh, well, there's the National League for you if you need it. Philadelphia, still a half game back. West is done. Everybody wins in the East, so we remain 6.5 up on Boston. We have the best record in the AL. California officially has a 1-game lead over Oaktown. Seattle is 2 games back. I mean, I think Seattle's still got to be the dark horse of the 3. Not the dark horse. I think they're the favorite. That's what I should have said. They got to be the favorite. Let's take a look at headline news. Brainiac Baseball Daily Beat. California stretches their lead. Ron Romanick pitched a complete game, it looks like. Davis pitches a 6-0 shutout. So Toronto over the Twins. That is his 3rd shutout of the year. He is their staff ace. Wait, wait, what? That's his 1st shutout of the year. Did I read that wrong? Oh, 3rd career shutout. Accurate. He's 15-9 for Toronto. Great job by him. Transactions. What do we got going on here? Oh, damn it, I got to fix that Ellie Hammaker thing. Okay, so Lachelle Tarver gets a 3-year extension from Boston. Deserved. Batting .324, 37 stolen bases. Scored 88 runs. This guy's getting it done. He's only 25 years old, plays okay deep. Great contact hitter. So good job by Lachelle Tarver, a guy none of us ever heard of before this started. Ron Allen had his 20-game hitting streak come to an end. He's batting .320. Look at his log. Yeah, that's what it looks like, folks. He had 4 out of 5 games with 3 hits. He's batting .395. And yet the White Sox are 9.5 out. And finally, we have a retirement. It's Jesse Jefferson. He was a rotation guy for the Blue Jays when we started this sim way back in 1980. He made a bunch of starts. He won 25 games on a terrible Blue Jay team before he basically stepped away after the 82 year. So good work by Jesse Jefferson. Let's go ahead and pull up the box score and get out of here. Tigers are 16-3 in the month of August. Got 2 more games versus the lowly Royals. Then we have the Angels coming to town, who may be in first place by the time that happens. Player of the game today is going to be Alan Trammell. Trammell drove in 2 runs. He walked twice. He did get thrown out on the base path, but a good game for him. Gibby and Kennedy both hit home runs. Dan Petry gets the win. He's a 10-game winner. First time in his career. He's 10-8 and drops his ERA down to 4.10. Oh, Paul Gibson creeped in and got the save, his first of the year. The loss goes to Jerry Ujdur, who you have to admit pitched pretty well, I think. So good for him. That's going to do it. We will come back tomorrow and play Game 3 of the 4-game series. Until then, everyone, have a great day.